It's lights out and away we go. So Bottas leads Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen leads.
When it comes to F1, there is insane amounts of money involved. So we've looked at some of the huge sums of money involved, and this includes the cars, drivers' net worth, and even the sponsorship deals and how much F1 founder is now worth. If you love content like this, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and turn on notifications.
Inside, Gasly is challenging him. Norris is still ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, and turns 2 and 3 have been...
Here's our first money fact. Formula One generated more than $2 billion in revenue in 2020, and F1's 2021 revenues are estimated at $1.38 billion, which is shared among teams and other shareholders. That's a huge amount of money. It is one of the highest earning sports competitions in the world. So let's look at where all this money's coming from and where is it going to. Plus, find out how you can invest in Formula One.
And we've got a car here that we hope will be fertile ground to develop strongly all the way through the 2020 season.
The cars. Firstly, let's look at the cars. Well, the average cost of an F1 car is a cool $14 million. Yes, that's right, a whopping $14 million. Imagine trying to get insurance for one of those bad boys. And this only covers the expense of the main components of a Formula One car, as it's very difficult to account for the cost of the engineering and design that goes into the production of these parts. F1 cars are open-wheeled, open cockpit, single-seat, rear-wheel driven vehicles specifically designed to participate in Formula One racing competitions, and they must meet the specifications outlined by the FIA. The Formula One car is made up of two main components, the chassis and the power unit. The chassis is the framework of the F1 car to which all other parts are attached. The power unit is the heart of the car. It generates power and will determine how fast an F1 car will go while consuming the minimum amount of fuel. The efficiency of the power unit will often determine the success of the team. Which team do you think have the best car? Comment below and let us know.
In 2021, a completely different challenge awaits us, where a completely new set of regulations is going to arrive, and where we have the terrifying and yet exhilarating thrill of picking our way through virgin design space. So we decided that we would make a car that was aggressive. Despite the fact that there is no change in the regulations, we would take every part of the car and see if we could challenge ourselves to make it better.
So how much does it cost to run an F1 team? Red Bull has revealed exactly how much they spend on keeping the team going, and it doesn't come cheap. The financial statements reveal that purchases of material used to build the F1 cars, team clothing, stickers for F1 cars, and other consumables had a sky-high cost. It came to an incredible $56.5 million. Next, let's take a deep dive into the world of sponsorship. Coming in at number 1 with the biggest sponsorship pot of pool is Mercedes.
The sport met to try and map out its future in what was obviously going to be a difficult year. And we took a few very sensible decisions. And so this car in front of us, we hope that in the winter testing, we will do all the right things to get the best from it and to build that relationship.
They scoop up cash from Mercedes-Benz, UBS, Petronas, Epson, Bose, and even Tommy Hilfiger. The biggest sponsor by far is Petronas, who contributes an incredible $39.5 million per year. It's no wonder they need so much money when you consider how much they pay Lewis Hamilton. You'll find out later what he earns, so keep watching. Each sponsor throws millions in to be associated with the speed, performance, and technological excellence of this huge brand. The largest sponsor of any single Formula One team is this tobacco brand. This company is by far the most controversial sponsor currently involved in Formula One. Given that tobacco advertising is banned in several countries, including Italy, Philip Morris, who continues to pump money into Ferrari through the Mission winnow. Rolex also brings in cash directly to F1 as they're a global partner of Formula One. This luxury brand contributes a phenomenal $327 million. The giant green and gold clock hangs over the end of the pit lane at every Grand Prix, and each session opens with the hand ticking across on live television. At most Grand Prix, the Rolex branding can also be seen along the start straight and on various trackside advertising boards.
Teammate Alex Albon now cruises past and goes into third place, and Verstappen through the mud.
Now let's look at the prize money. The F1 distributes total profit to all the teams. However, drivers don't receive any prize money because Formula One drivers are paid salaries by the teams they drive for. So, is the money distributed evenly throughout the teams? Well, no, is the simple answer. The Formula One revenue is divided into two categories, 50% each. One half goes to Formula One teams, prize money fund, and the other half goes to Formula One group and shareholders. I bet you'd like to be one of those shareholders. Well, guess what? You can! All you'll need to do is invest in Liberty Media Corp Formula One. The founder of Formula One is Bernie Ecclestone. He's worth an incredible $3.4 billion.
It started really because I bought the Brevin company. And then they asked me if I would sort of negotiate things, because nobody negotiated for the teams, they negotiated.
Well, it's difficult to say how much does this car cost, but I think you could really work it out that an average good or one of the top Ford engine teams probably spends anything from $800,000 to £1 million a year on racing.
Bernie Ecclestone was the true hero who took Formula One from a niche racing competition to a global phenomenon over a 4-decade career. I bet you wish he was your dad. He's got 2 daughters who are both incredibly rich. And guess what? He has just recently had another baby at the age of 89. He's named his new baby boy Ace. He sold Formula One to Liberty Media in 2017 for $4.4 billion. So it's not like he can't afford to have more kids. He's even commented that he doesn't need any Viagra. The only supplement he takes is vitamin D. Next, let's talk about the ticket sales. Tickets exchange hands every year for ridiculous sums on the black market. The cheapest tickets on sale are for the Hungarian Grand Prix, with the most expensive being Monaco. Hospitality packages can set you back thousands of dollars. Yikes! So what do the F1 drivers get paid? First up is the highest paid F1 driver, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, the newly crowned 7-time Formula One world champion, has driven some of the most memorable races in the history of the sport.
He makes $30 million annually from his exclusive contract with Mercedes. Next, we have Max Verstappen, who drives for Red Bull. He's on a salary of a huge $23 million. In third place, we have Fernando Alonso, who brings home a whopping $20 million a year. He drives for Team Alpine. Coming in at fourth place, we have Sebastian Vettel, who drives for Aston Martin, and he makes a tremendous $15 million each year. In joint fourth place, we have Daniel Ricciardo. He's lucky enough to get behind the wheel of a McLaren, and he makes a huge $15 million too. Richest drivers. Coming in at the top of the list as the richest driver of all time is the legendary Michael Schumacher. His net worth is an amazing $800 million. Second on the list of richest drivers is the fantastic Eddie Jordan. His net worth is $475 million. Third on the list, we have a relatively young driver, the British Lewis Hamilton. His net worth, $285 million. He currently competes in the Formula One for Mercedes, having previously driven for McLaren from 2007 to 2012. Fourth on the list, we have Fernando Alonso, a Spanish driver who has a net worth of $240 million. Currently racing for Alpine in Formula One, he won the series World Drivers' Championship in 2005 and 2006 with Renault, having also driven for McLaren, Ferrari, and Minardi. Coming in at fifth on the richest driver list, we have Kimi Räikkönen, nicknamed the Iceman, is a Finnish racing driver currently driving in Formula One for Alfa Romeo Racing. Racing under the Finnish flag, Kimi Räikkönen has a net worth $200 million. Well, that's it, folks. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content on all things luxury.
Lights out, and away we go. Verstappen ahead of Bottas. Norris getting a good start, but behind Lewis Hamilton. Sainz and Albon.